Okay, good afternoon everyone. Thank you for attending this meeting today of the licensing panel on Monday the 17th of November 2025. Before we start, I'd like to run through some housekeeping rules. There are no planned fire alarms. If the alarm does sound, please leave by the emergency exits which are here and here. If you need the toilet, they're outside to the left in the reception area. Thank you. Can I please ask that all mobile phones are kept on silent or turned off completely? Thank you. This meeting is being live streamed on YouTube and recorded, so I ask that all parties please use the microphone system when talking so everyone can hear what you're saying. I will now ask all parties to this hearing to introduce themselves. I'll start with myself and then we'll go around the room. So I'm Councillor Gleeson, chairing this meeting today.
Chris Lomax, Wantley East.
Hello, Councillor Leslie Pritchard, a councillor for Lostock Hall Ward.
Justin Abbott's licensing officer.
Matthew Cropper, environmental health manager.
Elizabeth Walsh, legal services team leader.
Carol Asprey, democratic member services officer.
Dave Walsh, licence holder.
Tiago Teixeira, I'm the bar manager and the Pierce license holder.
Okay, thank you. Right, I will now outline the hearing for the procedure, which will be as follows. A. Our licensing officer will outline the application and any relevant representations. Questions to the licensing officer for clarification will then be permitted from the panel, from the applicant and the premise licence holder. The applicant for review, environmental health, will then be invited to make representations in support of the application. Questions to the applicant will be permitted from the panel and the premises licence holder. There are no other representations from responsible authorities or from other persons. The premises licence holder will then be invited to make their own representations. Questions will then be permitted to the premises licence holder from the panel and from the applicant review. The applicant will then be invited to sum up. The licence holder will then be given the opportunity to sum up. I will then ask our legal representative if there are any other matters to be raised or resolved before the hearing is closed for the deliberations. All parties and officers who are not directly supporting the committee will be excluded from the meeting at this point and we will enter the deliberations. All parties will be issued with a detailed notice of the decision within 5 working days after this hearing. If you're not satisfied with that decision, you have a right to appeal it at the magistrates within 21 days. Thank you. Okay, we'll now start the meeting. Do we have any apologies?
No apologies, Chair.
Thank you. Any declarations of interest? No. Okay, procedure. A copy of the procedure to be followed has been included with the agenda pack for the information already outlined. Item 4, premises licence review for the ship. Can I ask our licensing officer, Justin Abbots, to briefly outline the application?
Thank you, Chair. Okay, the application before you today is to facilitate a review under the Licensing Act, Section 51. At any stage following the grant of a premises licence or club premises certificate, a responsible authority or any other person may ask the licensing authority to review the licence. The review today has been sought by Environmental Health regards the premises at the Ship Public House, and that's 165 Towngate, Leyland. The grounds for review are undermining the licensing objective relating to the prevention of public nuisance. A copy of my report can be found in the document bundle, and that's titled Premises Licence Review the Ship. The application for review can be found attached to the report as a background document, Review the Ship. 2 supplementary documents have been received from Environmental Health, which can be found attached to the report as EHO case summary and supplementary statement, respectively. 4 representations have been received from interested parties as members of the public. The representations can be found attached as a report as Appendix B. As these representees cannot attend the hearing, I can read out the representations later in the hearing on their behalf. When validating the application for review, the licensing authority under section 51 of the Licensing Act had to be satisfied that all steps had been followed correctly, following the regulations and the section 182 guidance 8.80. Notices were placed at the premises as per the regulations. Within a matter of hours, the notices were subsequently placed out of view in the premises upstairs. A conversation was had with the licence holder's consultant, informing him that the notice had been removed from public view and placed upstairs in the windows. As a result of the movement of notices, we subsequently had to place further notices at the premises, outside the premises on 2 lampposts. This was 2 weeks into the representation period. It's worth noting, though, public representations were only received once these additional notices were placed outside. And when determining the application for review, members are reminded that the options available to them are as follows: to modify conditions of the licence, to exclude licensable activity from the scope of the licence, to remove the designated premises supervisor, to suspend the licence for a period not exceeding 3 months, or to revoke the licence. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Justin. Okay, so we'll have questions. We'll come round to various people in turn. So do we have any questions from the panel first? Chris? Justin, I have a question. Do we know what happened to the first set of notices then? Were they just...
The first set of notices were placed up in the upstairs window where they were not visible to any members of the public, which is a requirement for the notices to be visible to the general public.
Okay, and when did we become aware of that?
We became aware of that, I think it was, well, I photographed it on the day that we put them up.
Okay.
But we assumed the licence holder would move them, but this didn't happen.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Mr. Walsh, I'll get to you in turn, so we just have this process that we have to go through to get to you. Thank you. Any questions from the applicant? No? Okay. And Mr. Walsh, if you have any questions?
Yeah, I do. So obviously, how many attended the premises? How many notices should be visible?
So how many?
How many notices should be visible?
2 notices should be visible.
2? So how come there was 4?
There was 4 notices placed because the first ones that we placed there were removed.
2 small windows, so either side of the windows, the door coming in, the door coming, so you couldn't get away from it. Was that necessary? Is that regs?
That is the regulations, yes.
Okay, so 4 of you to come and do that as well.
There wasn't 4 of us.
So also, is there licensing, when you put a notification up, is that not got to go online first to the public? Did that happen?
Is it okay if I answer this through you?
Of course
Chair?
it is, yeah.
I know you're going to have covered this already, because you know you'd have read, whoever's put the thing out to LEP, do you know what I mean? I know you'd have read my response to it, so I know you're going to have covered your back with it anyway, but...
So, just to clarify,
Yeah.
there was, you know, it's in the report and everything, and I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It hasn't prejudiced you in any way, because actually, if the notice had gone on online, members, I'll just clarify
Yeah,
first.
of course.
You haven't been prejudiced in any way, because actually the notice technically should have been put up earlier, but it hasn't. So if you're asking, should it have gone on before, the notices have gone on, and it's not prejudiced you in any way, as far as I can see. So,
But is that regulations, before you come in and put a licensing review notification in a premises, do you have to publicly put it out online? That's what I'm asking.
So the notification is to let the public know that there's a review.
Yes, but does it have to go online first?
And as far as I'm aware, as long as the members of the public are aware of it, so it can go in the note, it can go on the lamppost, it can go in the,
But this was
My query would be for you, Mr. Walsh.
Without the representation, Mike, obviously, who you all work together with, who was meant to represent us today as well for more money. He's already told us that they've admitted that they got that wrong. So they've not put it online before they put the notices on. There should be one visible to the public, that's it. It would have stayed up. They did take them down because we was told of the mistake they'd made, so I relocated them to the upstairs. Businesses as well, you know, it's not doing well through a lot of hearsay that's going on from it, and a lot that's come from these offices also.
But Mr Walsh, do you understand why they have to be visible at a level where members of the public, because not a lot of people can see it from upstairs.
Yeah,
however,
doesn't need to be four. Doesn't need to be four. It didn't need 4 of them to come and do it neither.
I don't think there were 4 officers that went
There were
out,
3
as
of
far
them.
as I was
There
concerned.
were 3
but
before notices and then 2 on the
it's
lamppost
fine.
outside.
It hasn't prejudiced you in any way,
Of course
has
it
it?
has.
How's
How's
it
it not? 'Cause
prejudiced you?
it's gonna disrupt business. Of course, that's all you've tried to do from the beginning. Now, how many license reviews, how many licenses has this premises took on? How much money have you took from?
Mr Walsh, I think we're kind of diverging from the actual review here, and I think if you have an issue with if you have an issue with that particular issue, then I think you can put a complaint forward. Well, if it's okay with yourself, if we can continue with the review going forward, is that
Yeah,
okay?
that's fine.
Okay. Microphone. Do you have any more questions for the officer?
Yeah, so obviously, without reading all these, we know that there's 2 complaints, is there? No. There's one. There's one.
There's
Mrs.
4
Lomax.
representations that were made.
From the same person? Over
No,
the time?
four-
Four different...
Four different people.
Is there?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we'll get to hear those probably a bit
Yeah.
later on as well. Okay.
From the ship?
Sorry, 4.
From the ship?
You mean in
All of them
relating to
from
the ship?
Yeah, not just the premises, the ship.
Yeah, just relating to the ship. Yes.
Get them. Out to hear them.
Okay. Right, so we'll carry on. Thank you, everybody. Can I please invite the applicant for the review to put forward any information in support of the application? And I note you've already submitted evidence and the final and a file statement in advance. So we've already got those, but it's your chance to speak. You will get a chance, Mr. Walsh, after he's spoken, to ask any questions.
Thank you, Chair. I just thought I'd just outline the application. So the reason for the review, in the main, is for the purpose of protecting local residents from public nuisance. We've been dealing with noise nuisance complaints about the premises for since November last year. Admittedly, that started before Mr. Walsh was even involved in the premises. And part of the issue is its very close proximity to residential properties, and that it was originally a restaurant that's gradually changed into a bar, and there was a planning application and a noise assessment. But some of the things have never been properly boxed off from that. So there's supposed to be a noise limiter, which is supposed to deal with these issues. And I'm hoping that by using this licensing process, I can solve the issue that's faced by our residents, particularly the bass noise from their sound system, that we can hear it inside residents' properties, particularly late at night. And I think it is something that can be sorted out by that element of it can be sorted out by conditions, and that's what I would hope. I have got the recordings that were made with our calibrated sound limiter at one of the complainant's properties, from inside his living room, which I can play at the appropriate time. It is now an appropriate time to do it. I have also been out myself on a couple of occasions prior to the service of the notice, and again more recently, and I've sort of heard, you know, that sort of bass noise and its origins from personal experience.
Can I just ask you a quick question before you do play it? Can you let us know what the limits are, or what they should be, and what level this was recorded at? Do you have that information?
The limit, are we talking about sort of legal limits? Am I switched on there?
Is it red?
Both of them are red, is that
Yeah.
right? Right.
Yeah, that's
sorry.
fine.
Yeah, there aren't any prescribed noise limits in UK legislation for premises that are applicable. There is a piece of legislation called the Noise Act 1996, but it was never adopted by Safe Ribble. So we rely on, for investigating noise complaints, we look at whether something's a statutory nuisance, which involves a determination based on a number of factors, like how often the noise is happening, how loud it is relevant, what time of day it is, the tonal sort of characteristics of the noise, and a very bunch of other people, and we would consider whether it would be likely to impact on the health of the average person. So, for instance, if a noise is happening in the middle of the day and it was keeping somebody awake who works at night, we would say that's probably not a statutory nuisance because it's not what the average person. So, for this particular premises, because of the where it's situated on Towngate in Leyland, it is a busy road, and I don't think it's really a problem until the traffic dies down. In which case, you don't get sort of lorries driving past, and it just becomes a lot more sort of apparent and more distinctive. And frankly, it's also when people would be expected to sleep, and interference with sleep is something that we would consider more likely to be both a statutory nuisance for the purposes of the Environment Protection Act and a public nuisance from the point of view of licensing.
Okay, so if you can play...
Sorry, that was quite a long-winded
No, that's okay, you can play the sound for us. If you can, as you play, is there just one recording, or...?
There's quite a lot of it, but it is like a dun, 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 dun.
If you could let us know the location it was recorded and the
Yeah.
time, that would be great, thank you.
I'm conscious that the complainant whose property I recorded, that we recorded this in, has been like very clear that he doesn't want his sort of details to be. So can I just say the street name? Is that,
Oh
is
yeah,
that,
when I
is
say
that
the
okay?
location, I meant which room in the house,
Right,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
All of the calls that we've done are in his living room.
All in the downstairs,
Yes.
is that downstairs at the front of the house?
Yes,
Facing the street, thank you.
It's the front room, yeah.
Thank you.
We only do noise recordings in habitable rooms, so it would either be in a living room, because it's stopping you from being able to you can hear it over the TV and it's bothering you, or in a bedroom because it's stopping you from sleeping, and these would be would all be one of the two.
And just for clarification, I know they will have been. All the windows were shut, weren't they? They weren't.
I mean, these noise recordings taken in August, so they may well have been open.
So in August.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there has been.
And what time of day were they taken?
They're at sort of. Sorry, is it okay to just look at the graph?
Do you
just
help
to tell
yourself? Yeah,
so I can
you
tell you
go,
the
yeah.
exact
Yeah,
times.
yeah. If needed, we could possibly take a short adjournment for 5 minutes while you locate the details. Or, you've got it. Okay, thank you. Anticipating the question, because I have a similar question, is are you 100% sure that came from the ship? That's my question. There were no other premises playing music at that point.
Well, it was as close to that point. So
Sorry.
I know where
Sorry, Mr. I understand.
I know where the house is. Gables is way closer to us. Gables is miles louder.
Okay.
They've also apparently been put on the review. I don't know what kind
Mr.
of deal
Walsh,
they've got with them, but
You will get a chance to speak, and I'm really sorry. We have a process to go through, and if you do want to, when we do let you speak, we need you to use the microphone because it's gone on the YouTube. So, but not just at the moment, because we have to listen through this, get the evidence, and then come through. I promise
but
you,
I
you will
don't feel
get a
that
chance.
is evidence, because if that is the evidence and that is it, and I'm causing that in the guy's house, I'll shut it down. I'm not bothered, but I don't believe that is because I stand.
Sorry, Mr. Walsh, I'm really sorry. We've got a procedure that we need to follow. You will definitely get a say,
Okay.
and you'll be able to ask the officer questions. I promise you. It's at the moment we need to go through this procedure, and councillors just want to clarify something. Is that okay?
It sounds like you're in the toilet. Yeah.
Walsh, I'm really sorry. You're going to have to. You'll get your turn to speak. Okay?
Okay, thank you. So was that? So that was recorded. You said on the 31st of August at midnight within the premises. Yeah. Were there any recordings taken at other premises?
Other domestic ones?
Yeah. No, that was the one.
No. I mean, the problem's just sort of like at a weekend, and it's sort of late at night.
Okay.
That's the.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anything else that you have to say, or anything else you want to present to us?
I think it's worth having regard to the diary evidence that was done by one of the complainants.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, that person had been.
Sorry, through you, Chair.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is it okay if you use your microphone?
Sorry. Yeah.
Thank you.
That person had been pretty meticulous in recording every time it happened. I had been out myself in person and listened from the street. I don't know how appropriate it's to talk about other premises, but we have historically had a complaint about the Gables, but since then that has been resolved, and when I've been out, we can't hear it, and the complainant's also saying that he isn't hearing stuff from the Gables anymore either, and he's actually been out and looked. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. The previous complaint about the Gables, how historic?
I don't have the details.
Use your microphone.
Sorry, I don't have the details at the moment. But
Can I just one more question? Were any recordings taken in the street? Any sound levels taken in the street next to the premises, or was it all, or the only ones that have been taken were inside that property?
so the recordings are all inside his living room. I've been in person and listened, and you can hear it. I've stood on the front doorstep of the guy's house, and you can hear the dum 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 dum. And then I've walked past, and I could hear that it's coming from the ship, and before that, Rum Jacks. There was historically an issue with the Gables, but I've never witnessed it myself. It was dealt with by just like a phone call to the Gables, and the complaint stopped complaining about them.
Okay, thank you.
I've not
Chris?
witnessed it.
It's only one really simple question, which is going back. You are assuring us that it was from the ship.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking.
Okay, anyone else?
Sorry, Chair, I've got a couple of questions.
Of course.
Can I just ask, when you visited the premises and you carried out these recordings, were the windows open of the ship at all?
Well, so that with our can be heard okay? With our sound monitoring equipment, we would usually give it to the complaint for a number of days. So it would typically be set up at on where we complain over noise over a weekend, we'd set it up on maybe on a Friday afternoon, and then we'd leave it there, and then there's a device that they press every time that they can hear it.
Next.
So when I think you said that you went and visited, you've been out and heard the noise yourself. So when you walked past, have you ever walked past the ship and the windows and doors have been open at the time, or can you recall?
I have been out at sort of late at night to listen to it, and I think the doors were shut at the time. Obviously the difficulty is that the noise goes up as the doors open and close, but there's not really much they can do about that. Cause
I'm just trying to establish, from residents' points of view, if the doors and windows are open at the time, is there anything potentially that has that been? Have residents said anything about that?
Of the licensed premises? No.
Sorry, just a couple more questions, is that okay? So obviously in your report you've set out some conditions that you want members to consider. In terms of the noise limiter, would you be opposed to setting decibels, a set decibel on those conditions? Just so that members can consider that.
I mean, when you usually with decibel levels, you'd be looking at making sure it's not a certain above sort of background. The difficulty is at sort of midnight, that road is very quiet, whereas at sort of like 10 o'clock at night, it's actually quite noisy. There's a lot of traffic noise, and it depends how you're going to calculate it. I think if you wanted to set numerical sort of decibel limits, I'd probably want to take advice from colleagues on what the best thing to advise would be, or like have reference to British standards around noise abatement.
So you'd be happy with the British standard of that?
Yeah.
Sorry, I've just got another question. So has there been many issues, like, is it just after 11 o'clock, or has there been anything before then?
I think there's quite a significant amount of diary sort of evidence that's been provided by one of the complainants, which sort of establishes the pattern as being essentially weekend evenings. You can hear it earlier on in the evening, but in my view, it only starts to become a nuisance when the sound levels from traffic die down. It becomes more prominent.
Sorry, just bear with me a second. There's a couple, I think, more question that I've got.
I have a quick question for you while Liz is sorting that out. The noise that you've heard yourself and have been recorded, has this? I know you've mentioned it. Is it only at the weekends? Is it every night of the week?
Yeah, it's just at weekends.
It's just the weekends. Yeah. When we're saying the weekend, do we mean Saturday, Sunday, or do we mean Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I think there's been occasions where there's been things on at bank holidays, but
yeah,
you're doing it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, this is the last question. So obviously in your report you've put conditions sought. Are you still happy with those conditions?
Yeah, I think if those conditions are implemented, I don't think there'll be a problem. I mean, I would certainly give Mr. Ross some credit in that, like, it is the magnitude of the problem is less than under the previous owners. It's probably worth mentioning when it was Rum Jacks.
I have one more question. Is that in the recommendations?
Yeah.
Yeah. The condition just say any evening. Would you be happy for that to be weekends?
I guess that's the only practical use for it, really, because they don't play loud music in the week, as far as I can tell.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else got any more? No? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, Mr Watts, thank you for your patience. It's now your turn to ask any questions.
These recordings, like I said, just previous, if there's anyone getting caused distress from this, that's the last thing I want. I'm not going to fight it, I'm not going to do anything. If that's the case, that's fine. Obviously, if you looked into the complaint, I thought there was only with the lady who we've made amends with her. She's very happy. She was just lonely. She looks after her elderly mum who can't hear anything, so she doesn't. She's fine. She's not complained since I met with you. We took all the decibel readings. I put the new door in for obviously when you're swinging it. I've done all that. I personally cannot. I invite all of you to come out on the side and stand on the road. If I can't see it being that big of an issue, I really can't. I think the issues come from my outburst with yourself and other people, rather than anything else. It's just escalated since then. Since I took over the bar, I've been pulled for it. It might not be nothing to do with you, but I've been pulled 4 times. This is another matter that I'm in Crown Court for. I've been pulled 4 times coming out of the premises by the police. Drug and alcohol tested every single time, 4 times in 5 days. On the last one, this is, and I can say this because I know for a fact that it was a fake analysis of what it was. I was held for 9 hours in the police station, no phone call, no nothing. This is going to Crown Court. Why it's not in Preston, I'm not too sure. They've put me somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I've been completely attacked. When all I'm trying to do with that place is, there's nothing in Leyland, absolutely nothing to do. Do you know? It's not making money, it's costing me money left, right and centre, or every week it's costing me money. Do you know what I mean? And then all I'm doing is coming under fire, and I've had an outburst, which I do. I do lose my temper sometimes with things when I feel like I'm being persecuted, which I really feel I am, from everybody. We had the fire brigade, we had yourselves in, we had environmental health in, we had the council, we had lights, all in 1 week. This is when I got pulled over 4 times as well. I can't help but feel that's an attack on myself. I can't. And I really believe it is. And when I obviously win with the court with the police, obviously because that's a no-brainer what they've done. They've actually ripped me. They tried taking blood from me 4 times, but they couldn't only do it twice. It was just everything's since I've took that over. Now I've heard all the hearsay, and I know someone's come for me because I know people that have come for me, and we've been chat here as well. Do you know what I mean? This is where it's influential kind of place. This is where it goes about, and it's this and it's that, which is all rubbish. All rubbish. If it was what people are saying, then do you not think I'd be done? Do you not think I get looked into left, right, and centre with all this? I do.
Mr. Watt, I'm really sorry to start. I know you have a lot to say, but at this point, it's for any questions to this guy. You will get a chance.
Yeah, so,
you will get a chance to sum up.
So
at
obviously,
the end.
if I don't want to cause any distress to anybody, the complaint is he. You did get people that complain. You do. Is it just this noise that he complains about to the council? Is there anything else? Do you know? Has all this been looked at?
I'm only aware of the complaint is kept all the diary.
Is microphone? Is your microphone on?
Yes.
We have from the day I seen you, I've got the decibel readings every night from the Friday and Saturday from them. So, like you said, there's no regs. If you can put a reg in, I'll stick to it. Like I've stuck to every single thing that you've tried to do up to now. I've nailed it all.
Am I allowed to just?
You can respond. Yes.
I'm not
yes.
sure about the. Yeah, brilliant. I think if you do sort of like a check, this is what the main thing that I won't like on the nights where you've got like DJs on and things, and you can't hear it you can't hear the thumping bass sort of sound. You know that I was playing before.
Yeah.
Like
Did you take that recording?
You won't hear from me again.
Did you take that recording, or was that there?
No, that's done by the. So they get a kit, and it does
So
have.
the windows open. He's doing that. Obviously, he's the complaining. That I would. Like I said, I don't want to call him distress, but I would have rather you took what you just played there. I'd rather you took that personally, because his windows will be open for that. You know he's going to be. I can even tell it is.
I would say
Do you know
that.
what I mean?
I would say that it probably did have his window, but it was August and it was very muggy.
Yeah.
And my air conditioning wasn't working in my car at the time, so I know it wasn't. It wouldn't have been unreasonable to have a window.
Right.
open
Okay.
at
Yeah.
the time.
Get that then. Yeah. Understandable. But yeah, for a recording to come into kind of a hearing like this, I'd rather you took it yourself. That would have been. Cause I wouldn't want to cause him distress if he's in distress from it. And obviously, it's like the lady. I thought we only had the one complaint,
Okay.
and obviously we've been and seen her. Obviously, we've offered her whatever she wants to do. Same with the guy. If it's that pub's not doing well. Like I said, it's costing me money. Do you know what I mean? This is a fight that I really couldn't be doing with, and obviously, this another licence change is going to cost us another few £1,000s, isn't it? Again, do you know who even granted the licence for this place?
Is that a question that you're
Yeah,
asking?
it is. It is obviously. It's come under fire since it's open. Like, why was it ever granted?
Well, sorry.
It's cost a lot of money.
It was
I know that through every owner.
Do you want to answer that just through you, Chair? Is that okay if just answers that?
So the licence was granted because there was no reason not to grant the licence. The Licensing Act is a permissive act, and unless there's damning evidence to say we shouldn't grant a licence, then we're minded to grant the licence. So the licence for SH Restaurants was originally granted because it was a restaurant. Now, it's just a natural progression of the premises that it is now turned into a bar. And I think you've had retrospective planning to allow that to happen.
Not us, no, that was done prior to us.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a permissive act, and we had no evidence to say that it shouldn't be granted.
So then obviously when I took over the premises, we had a few licence issues that we've had to pay for, and then it was under, you had one of these again, it weren't with me, I wasn't not to do it, but then it got a 12-month probation period, and then it's not even had the 12 months, it's like 4 months it's coming in, and then obviously not due to this.
Sorry.
I've had everyone. Within the space of 10 days, I had everything that I outlined then, I had that within 10 days. It's like...
I'm just thinking, do you want to kind of, when it gets to when you get to speak, do you want to kind of cover that there? Is there any more questions that you've got for our environmental health officer in terms of what you've heard him say today?
Yeah, so it's this complaining, all the 4, if there is 4, I don't feel there is 4, because we spoke to all the residents.
Mr. Walsh, can I just ask you, did you receive the documentation? Because you should have received a pack with all the documentation.
Yeah, I did. And I got also by mistake by yourselves as well. I've got all the address. I've got the addresses of one, which should have been not even there. Okay. Do you know what I mean? It's like a few things.
Okay. So, Mr. Watt, if you've got any, you will get a chance to speak again to sum up. So, do you have any more questions for anybody at the moment?
No.
Okay.
Just you'll know from my outburst it's snowballed further and further and further and quicker. Is that correct or is that not?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I mean, if you're happy to, sorry, am I okay to talk? Thank you. That if you're able to do some checks on, you know, when the road goes quiet, and get a sound limiter, you won't hear from me again, and I'm sure that which will be probably good for you, won't it?
I get what you're saying, but obviously with the guy, people are funny. They are. You might get complaining. Is he a complaining? If I was you, I'd look into the type of person
we are still going to get complaints about your premises because it's so close, and there is noise from people leaving and people going outside to smoke and vape. But frankly, there's just nothing you can do about it.
We shut that down at 9 o'clock, like the licensing. We have that emptied by 9.
But you know, just people going outside to smoke and things and vape.
And I'll have to look at that.
And but it's tough, isn't it? You live
it is. I'll have to look at the date what you're saying, because you said it was past midnight. We've not been busy. Like we've been shut probably for the last 2-3 months, way before 12, because we're not busy. Because obviously the stigma of the place is now snowballed, and people think it is what it is. It's completely damaged us. It has.
Okay. Can we, if you do have any more specific questions, then we'll take those.
Not
but
really.
not,
It's just obviously the Gables is much louder than us. I don't want to. I'm not going to go and start complaining about. I know Gables have chucked complaints in about Fat Sam's. They might have done us. I'm not too sure. I know they have themselves, and they've got people to say it and stuff like that. Whether I don't know what ins and outs to that, but that's what's been said before.
Okay.
But the Gables is far noisier than us, and the doors are open like full time. Do you know what I mean? They're open later than us. Do you know what I mean? It's
right. We'll carry on with the procedure then. So, does anybody else have any questions? We're all good. We're all good. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, any panel members got any questions?
No, over here.
Who do you want to ask? no worries. Okay, so we're getting close to the end of this now. So can I invite the... sorry, Justin, can I invite you to sum up then, please? Sorry.
Sorry, Chair, do you want me to go through the representations?
That's what I meant.
That's
That's what I meant. Sorry, Justin, yeah.
It's okay, not a problem. So the first one I've got here, it references, it's not really, the beginning bit of it doesn't really reference licensing. It references the planning conditions that should have been applied. There should be a noise limiter according to the planning, and he's referencing that in the first bit. In the second bit, he's referencing the internal lobby, but the door is wedged open, which allows noise to be heard in the street and houses, even when the doors are closed, because this door is wedged open. Approved pub should only open visiting members of the public between certain hours. Outside seating should be vacated by 9. There are people still outside past midnight. The effect of people shouting, swearing and antisocial behaviour causing me stress, not able to sleep. When it's noisy, I'm getting to sleep at 2 a.m, which means I'm tired the next day. He's also referencing antisocial behaviour. The police have been called on a number of occasions. And then the remaining reference is really not particularly relevant to licensing, to be honest. The second one is I'm writing to make formal representation regarding the review of the premises licence of the ship 165 at Leyland, Towngate, as outlined on the public notice. As a nearby resident, I wish to object continue extension of the current licence on grounds of public nuisance and antisocial behaviour associated with the premises. There has been ongoing issues with excessive noise late at night from loud music and customers congregate outside, shouting, swearing and disrupting behaviour when patrons leave the pub. Disturbance to residents' sleep and general peace, particularly on weekends. These problems have a negative effect on the quality of life of people that live nearby. In my view, they demonstrate that the premises are not upholding the licensing objectives of preventing public nuisance. Therefore, I would like the committee to take these in account when looking at the licence. Objector number 3. I wish to register my concern about the noise from people and music emanating from the ship at 165 Towngate, Leyland. I live approximately 30 yards away from the ship. Many Fridays and Saturdays I'm unable to relax in the evening, go to sleep because of the noise from the ship. This means I can only get to sleep around about 1:30 a.m. I think this is referencing the lady that you were referring to earlier, Mr. Walsh, which is I'm a carer for my elderly, frail mother. When the ship is noisy, my sleep is impaired, and this impacts on my well-being and my caring responsibilities. Okay, and this is the final one. This one says, references planning again, so conditions were put in place in April 25 planning meeting to alleviate the noise and antisocial behaviour. Since 2019, my parents and myself have had to put up with excessive noise, bad behaviour since the former bank was turned into a bar stroke restaurant. This has caused me sleepless nights and was the cause of my father's anxiety. Now the situation is worse. The noise levels are greater and the shouting and swearing is greater. Seating outside is meant to be emptied by 9 p.m, but this isn't so. Also, music is very loud, and more so, the door is left open. Why was this former bank ever allowed to be a bar or a restaurant? There are many drinking and music venues very close by. Please publish and share this email. And that's pretty much it, really.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Walsh, do you have any representations to make yourself along the same lines, or?
All that since speaking with you, the outside has been cleared 9 o'clock every night.
Okay.
Well, Friday and Saturdays. It's only Friday and Saturdays that there'll be an issue. I'd say, like I said, I'd like to. I don't know when these complaints will come in. I don't know if you've asked them again closer to this, because I do feel there would have been a dramatic change as well. I don't think.
Mr. Watt, you can ask questions, but because these are representations from members of
Yeah.
the public, we can't give you any answers.
So, like, we've been shut, what would you say, 11, half 11 for the past 2-3 months, because nobody's coming in. So
Is that every day or just?
no, so obviously we're only open until 10 every other
Okay.
bar, Friday, Saturday.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wouldn't, there's no nuisance, I think there's one police attendance since I've had it, no fighting whatsoever. In fact, one fight outside there was, and that wasn't our premises, that was in the road from someone coming over from the Gables. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't believe that, to be fair. I don't believe some of them. The lady I do, we've spoke to everyone, we spoke to all the residents, they're all happy in our, as I thought it. Obviously some of them might be saying, they might not be willing to say, oh, it's yours, I get that, but as personally doing it, I don't think Flo's correct. I really don't. I think the lady, and obviously she's on site now, she comes in for Sunday lunch, she's very happy with us. I think she was just lonely.
We've got high place.
Yeah, so I don't believe the rest, to be fair. I think they've just come about, because you did only tell me there was one complaint when you come and see me as well. So, and now there's 4. That's the first I've heard of this, so. But if it is a nuisance, you deem whatever you want to deem. It's one of them. It's costing me money. I've put a lot of money into it. I know what I wanted to do with the place. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be a nuisance at all.
Okay,
I don't want it
Mr.
to be even like a pub, in the sense of where it's like that.
You will get a chance to
plans
sum
for
up
it.
next,
Yeah.
but we're just going to see if anyone's got any questions for you at the moment. So, anybody have any questions?
Yeah, being a Preston North End fan, I hate the balance of probability with it, and we will have to go on the balance of probability here. However, we have spoken about the noise level. Would you be willing to fit a noise limiter? You already have a noise limiter.
Decibel meter on, it's like a
Yeah, I
map.
think you mean, so we can't go higher than a set. That's fine, yeah.
That's
absolutely fine.
that's
Anything
correct.
you want to do is fine. It's just, I do feel it's
A
bit more than
second
this.
one, would you be willing that data be sent over
So anything you
to
need.
environmental health every week?
Anything you
They could
need, yeah.
monitor?
Just bear with me just one second. Okay, sorry, thank you. If you have something to say, please carry on.
Sorry. So I just didn't hear what was just being said then about some of the data.
Oh, right, I believe what Councillor Lomax was saying is that if you're in agreement to have, and by the sounds of it, I think you already have a noise limiter or
If you
some
want,
recorders
if
in
you
place,
can
whether
do it.
Mr Walsh would be in agreement to submit that data to you on whatever period we agree later. Would that be necessary? Would you require anything like that? Or
But don't know that they produce any data as such. Like the ones that I've seen and some of our premises have. It's just the power socket that the mixing desk plugs into has a sensor in it that detects whether something's gone up to a certain sound level. If it goes too high, it flashes to tell you. You get to the point that whether it's too high, and if you do it consistently, eventually it knocks the power off. So that's the thing. I'm not aware of any that they have that they're capable of sending data, or if they do, I'm not sure. I'm not like a sound technician. There will be cleverer ones out there now, I'm sure.
Okay.
But that's the fundamental way that most of them work.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Walsh, what would slightly modify that then? Would you be willing to keep these recordings in a diary yourself of the data yourself, and if we ever needed to see it, we could just come and ask you for it?
We have
which
this,
you've already
we have
done.
this since seeing you, Mark, you know, so that these are the decibel readings in and out from that date that we had the meeting.
Okay, thank you. All good.
Sorry, through you, Chair, is it okay if I ask Mr Walsh a couple of questions? Mr Walsh, I just wanted to make sure that you had said everything that you wanted to say to members today, just to make it clear that you had your opportunity to respond. Yeah. I just wanted to ask, obviously the council want to work with you, and that's why our officers in environmental health have come out to you. I just wanted to make sure that obviously there have been a couple of incidences with our officers, and I just wanted to make sure that they are just doing their job, and obviously they are doing their job. They've been asked to go out and put these notices up. So I just wanted to make sure that if that were to ever happen again, that there wouldn't be any altercations between them.
I just feel there were three of. I like to say there were four of them, because I think there was four of you that come out to put 4 notices up everywhere, all over it. It was like I don't want to swear, but fuck you. Do you know what I mean? That's what it felt like. And then after everything else, I said some stuff that I shouldn't have said. Sorry about that. But since taking it over, like I said, it's costing me money each week. It's just a battle that I've got. All it seems to be is every licence change we have to do, we have to pay. Mike, who looks after us, who since I know works with you all as well, which is another, like, do you know what I mean? We're paying him. That's why he's not here. It just all seems really. Your face doesn't fit. Do you know what I mean? See you later.
Just to clarify, Mike doesn't work for the council, so I just wanted to clarify that point.
I don't know.
But obviously our officers do want to work with you, and they work with a lot of the premises, so they are just doing their job. So I just wanted to make sure.
We get knocked back for everything, though. We do. We get knocked back for everything.
Okay.
Everything that we've ever gone for, we get knocked back for, and then one day you're our mate, one day you're not. It's just hard work.
I just wanted to clarify through chair and through members that obviously this is a fair hearing, and obviously there are no kind of
no.
Yeah. Okay. So are you sure you've said everything that you want to say?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so we've got to the point now where I can ask the applicant if they'd like to sum up from today.
Just to sum up, I'm fairly confident that the noise issue from the music can be solved with a combination of technology and management, and I think if these conditions are added to make this licence more like one that you would expect for a pub bar that's close to residents rather than a restaurant, I think that should solve the problem. It's quite heartening to hear that obviously Mr Walsh has been quite conciliatory and wants to work with us. So I think that's a good sign.
Okay. Please don't have a discussion across the room, please. It's your chance to sum up if you've got anything else to say.
I suppose it is a shame, really, because this could have been done by a minor variation they could have applied for. And I think possibly if Mr Walsh had better sort of advice, they could have said, well, you know, the noise limiter and doing some due diligence checks could have been applied for by the applicant, whereas obviously for me I have to review the licence to get to this point.
Okay.
So it is regrettable if there's been sort of like damage to the business, but ultimately my responsibility is around protecting our residents from public nuisance and statutory nuisance.
Okay.
But that's all I've got to say.
That's understandable.
Okay, thank you.
That's I want that. I don't want anyone to be in distress whatsoever in the premises, in the house that they own or whatever. I would never want that.
Sorry, Mr Walsh, it is your turn now. This is your last chance. If there's anything you want to say for us to understand or hear, this is your chance to say it now. I'll give you a few minutes.
I have had representation from it. Obviously, I was told to come in today and try and get an adjournment for January because I was told that you might try and take my licence off me for the Christmas period. That's what I was, which you've not, which is good. But yeah, I have. There's people giving me advice on things, and I've been told to come here on my own, just for this one. And then if we had to appeal, we had to appeal with it. Whether that was the right advice, who knows?
So is that anything
Yeah.
you need to say, yeah? Okay. Right. Okay, that's the end of the proceedings. I think everyone has said everything they need to say at the moment. I'll just quickly check that nobody has got anything left that they need to say or want to say. All good? All good? All good. Excellent, thank you. We've no more questions from legal, no more questions from the panel. So, a decision will be provided to all interested parties within 5 working days. Any party that is aggrieved by the panel's decision has a right to appeal to the Magistrates' Court within 21 days. Okay? Thank you. The hearing is finished. I will now ask that the licensing officers, the applicant and the licensing holder leave the room, and we'll enter the deliberations and we'll let you know within 5 days. Thank you very much for everybody attending. Thank you.